This is the laziest way to blow up as an underground rapper in 2026. I used to wake up every single day, record content every single day, make one song a week, work my absolute arse off, only to find that I couldn't get past 200 monthly listeners. And honestly, I was exhausted. All I could think about was music content, music content, music content. And it destroyed my life. Bro, I'd be in school doing the craziest shit and filming myself lip syncing just to get the views. Me and my friend were in the school marquee. We made a racetrack out of chairs, and I ran up to the chair, did a scooter sort of thing, literally went on my knees and like scooted down straight full blast at the camera, lip syncing my song, and even that didn't get views. I felt so lost and burnt out and kind of let down by the algorithm because it all didn't make sense to me. I was doing all of the right things. I was making the music, I was putting it out there, and yet it seemed that people who put way less effort than me were getting way more views. I just remember waking up and the first thing I did was check my phone chronically for the amount of likes that I got, the amount of comments, the amount of views, the amount of subscribers that I got, the amount of engagement, like those really hollow engagement metrics. And honestly, a lot of the time, I didn't even pass 1,000 views on my video, which is insane if you really think about it, because surely if you work harder, you should get more views, right? But honestly, it turns out that that wasn't the case. So I decided to get super lazy with my content, and because I did, literally in the past 2 weeks, I've generated over 300,000 views for my music. I've gotten my first 1,000 monthly listeners, which is crazy, and I've got people at work coming up to me saying I'm the viral rapper, and I've got people in my old school and my old school before that basically know who I am now, even though they've never seen me in real life. I'm literally just gonna talk about like yesterday for a minute. Like there was a group of lads literally like walking past me, and I was in my blue jacket, yeah. And then the moment I passed them, I just hear them say, "Yo, is that the rapper?" It's actually so funny. Like I walk past a group of girls as well, and the same thing happened. Yeah, I was just minding my own business. They looked at me, I looked at them, then I just passed. And then all of a sudden I heard, wait a minute, was that the rapper? And I just looked behind me and they were all just looking at me. So I don't know, I just gave a friendly smile, I waved, and then they waved, and then, yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I blow up on TikTok and then suddenly everybody knows about me. It's definitely a good feeling, but I don't think I'd be able to get the amount of views that I have if it wasn't for the 10 lessons that I'm about to share in this video. So feel free to full screen this video, close your bedroom door, and get some water before we start this, because this is going to be a super in-depth masterclass. I don't really like to call it a masterclass, but bro, like, just treat it as a podcast. Maybe listen to this while you're eating, while you're playing video games, because there's going to be some elite ball knowledge in this yap session. I'm telling you, I'm going to put you on so much game that by the end of this video, bro, if you just follow one of these things, you're actually going to blow up. Starting with brutal lesson number 1, drum roll please. Get y'all bum ass a job. Get yo bum ass a job. It actually sounds really funny saying this as an English person, but I feel like just because I've watched so many American YouTubers and I've grown up with so many American TV shows, it's just kind of funny that I say yo bum ass rather than y'all bum ass, you know? But yeah, honestly, once I put my ego aside and got a job, I was able to really invest in my sound and invest in my own education rather than sitting for hours in front of YouTube videos just listening to the same yap over and over and over and over again. Oh yeah, make sure your music's good, pay for promo. Like, shut up. That's not how you blow up. You can have the best music in the world, but if your promotion doesn't fit that, then you're going to be shit. If your promotion is good, but your music is shit, you're going to be the most hated rapper on the internet. You blow up by investing in the knowledge that will get you where you want to go. I mean, I invested in a lot of school communities like skool.com. It's basically just a platform by this entrepreneur called Alex Hormozy. where you get taught by people who know more than you in a certain area. So if, say for instance, this YouTuber had a hobby and he wanted to teach it to the world, he'd basically just create a bunch of courses. He'd create an online community and he'd just run it where people could get one-to-one advice from him. So I mean, for instance, I joined this thing called Winners Club by money maxing in order to up my YouTube game, or I joined Viral Vision's Artist Bootcamp because I wanted to know how to make music videos that blew up in the algorithm music wise. And all that just came from getting myself a job. And so then I'd actually have enough money to pay for the knowledge that needed to get me where I wanted to go. On a quick side note though, you're going to find that a lot of the knowledge in this video is going to be quite unconventional. I know there are like a million and one different underground people who make videos on this topic before, but personally for me, I just want to give you a more practical perspective from someone who's actually in the industry at the moment and not just talking from their bedroom, because of course you can blow up from your bedroom, but if that doesn't convert into real life, if you don't start doing shows, if you don't start getting sales to those live shows, if you don't actually start feeling fulfilled with your music career, then what's the point of blowing up from your bedroom when you're basically just chasing numbers on a screen rather than actual real life results? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the knowledge that's out there on the internet. I'm just saying that I feel like I have a bit more experience, at least when it comes to the real life aspect of blowing up as an underground rapper or artist or whoever. But that being said, this works nicely into my lesson number 2, which is sleep more. I'm gonna get so many hate comments under this video for saying stuff like this, but like, trust me, I'm gonna get more into the social media side of things later on in this video, but right now I just want to let you know the absolute fundamentals of just functioning as a healthy human being, so that when you do get into the nitty gritty stuff, you haven't got brain fog. But that being said, this tip is actually quite weird because you would have thought that if you sleep less and get more done, then surely you'll be winning. But that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, at least for me. I want to bring you back to the past 2 years when I was in high school slash sixth form, like when I was like 16, 17, 18. I'm still 18 now, going on 19, but yeah. Bro, I was working towards my exams, A levels. I was doing coursework. I was trying to balance my social life, trying to go to the gym, trying to blow up my YouTube, trying to blow up my Instagram and TikTok, all at the same time. I would go to bed at like 12 and I would wake up at 5. Full monk mode grind set morning routine. It's cringe when I think about it now. But basically, I was doing a lot and nothing came out of it. I think I only really got like 50k views on one of my Instagrams and maybe like 49k views on a YouTube video like once. And this was only one time, once in a blue moon event, and not to say, not like counting that doing everything all at once gave me repetitive strain injury slash like carpal tunnel. Like I can't use my hands nearly as much as I would like to because I just completely ruined my tendons. And I've had that since summer of 2025. What is it now? It's like nearly spring of 2026. So yeah, do less, bro. um, but I genuinely think if I was to just go back in time and focus on making the most of my late teen years, like my mid to late teen years, just socializing, making new memories with people, just doing teenage shit, I would have had a lot more of like life experience, and I wouldn't feel like I could have done more back then, just like life wise. A part of me just wanted to be human, like forget about all of this music stuff for now and just pursue it later, maybe on this gap year that I'm on right now, rather than focusing on like so many different targets at the same time. Like, don't get me wrong, I got results, but like at what cost? I didn't end up joining a sports team. I low-key wanted to get a girlfriend, but I didn't because I was quote-unquote focused on my goals. I was constantly feeling really lost, stressed out, drained. Basically everything that a 16, 17, and 18-year-old shouldn't have been feeling at this time whatsoever. And I really feel like if I just relaxed a bit more, slept a bit more, laughed a little more, my grades would have probably been better as well. I probably would have ended up going on holiday with people and I would have blown up a lot sooner. And I'm just starting to realize now that the more balanced my life is, the more I can just enjoy it and sort of live it on easy mode while getting the same results as being stressed out and hardworking. Think of it like a pendulum, right? If you're too far one way, then you're just going to swing the other way. And then it's just going to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like you're super locked in, not locked in, super locked in, not locked in, and you're not really enjoying either side of it too much. Whereas if you've got this kind of balanced lifestyle where you're just in the middle, where you've got space to swing to both sides, but you don't go too extreme, you're kind of balanced, you're pretty healthy, and you just enjoy yourself a lot more in the process. So yeah, sleeping more is a no-brainer. Work smarter, not harder. And if you can get this next lesson, then you are going to be winning because I'm going to start getting into the social media stuff. Bro, like, yeah, this next one's going to be crazy. Lesson number 3 is film your content in familiar locations. Yo, I know I said I wouldn't get into the social media stuff like later on in this video, but honestly, I want to give you as much source as I possibly can. Number 3 is film your content in familiar locations. If I look back at all of my viral hits, they've always been in places that a lot of people my age recognize. Say, for instance, the escalators around the arcade, Camden Town, right dead center in London, right, like Camden Town, right dead in the center of London. All of these places were just so recognizable. And the moment that these people heard a song that they didn't know and it was filmed in a familiar location, the familiar mixed with the unfamiliar, the visuals matched the aesthetic and matched the audio, and basically it just created this thing called novelty, basically something new, which made them all think like, damn, what is this? And then all of a sudden I start rapping, my music is sick, they love it, they share it on, they like it, it goes viral. By the way, viral is just like another way of saying like a lot of people share it, because if you think about it, right, virality, it's like a virus, it spreads, right? And how does content spread? A lot of people share it and a lot of people engage with it. That's the definition of virality. The content needs to be shareable. I noticed that when I was scrolling on TikTok, the most random stuff without any thought, without much effort put behind it, went super viral. And this is why I'm calling this video the laziest way to blow up as an underground rapper, because honestly, it takes a lot less effort than you actually would think. And I realized this a couple of weeks back. I was going to rap on this famous DJ's TikTok live stream, DJ AG, and all of a sudden, when we got there, nobody was there, and it turns out 8 hours before the dude had said it was cancelled. So I mean, that's partly on me for not checking, but yeah. So now, what do me and my boy Eclipse Cobain do? Because I mean, there's nothing there. My dad's just kind of like waiting around. He's like, okay, now what? He's going out checking out some like fake clothes or chicken shop or whatever, and just me and my friend were just like, okay, what do we do now? So I had this idea to film some content, and so there was this content idea that I was meaning to film that day, and so we filmed it. It was basically just like you're walking randomly, and then the artist just grabs the camera from the guy's phone and then just starts rapping. So yeah, I went onto the TikTok app. I loaded up my audio. I didn't really expect it to get as many views as it did. I just kind of like, yeah, shit. I just kind of like, I just kind of like uploaded it so then I could download it and then re-upload it edited. But yeah, damn that TikTok is now sitting at around like 200, 3,000 views on TikTok. Bro, I went viral in 24 hours. I went to sleep not really expecting that much, and then imagine you wake up and you get a text from your friend saying like, "Yo, congrats by the way," and then you're like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, you haven't seen yet. Check your TikTok." So I had breakfast and I didn't think much about it, and then I log on to TikTok, and then all of a sudden, like, what the hell? The thing's blown up in the comment section. Loads of people were saying like, "Hey, wait a minute, I recognize this place. Hey, wait a minute, I live in Camden." Like, I tested this theory out in Cambridge as well, in my local city. I filmed somewhere familiar, and then all of a sudden I got comments saying my For You page is getting a bit too local. And I got people saying, "Hey, yo, it's leisure, what the hell?" And bro, this could genuinely be like the trick to blowing up on social media. Just filming your content in familiar locations, especially if it's the capital city. You got to mix the familiar with the unfamiliar, and then it creates something beautiful. But when you do have the unfamiliar, the visuals still need to match the audio. But bro, So much sauce, bro. All this stuff could blow up so much. By the way, if you're enjoying this podcast type thing and you want me to personally help you make better music and potentially go viral, I would love to have you inside of my online community. We've got a 30 plus preset pack. We've got a music maxing course, basically how to mix, how to master, and how to make the most of your music. And we've also got a mindsets course on how to stop feeling sorry for yourself and actually start taking action again as an artist. But again, this mainly is just for my one-to-one advice to you. And I genuinely think it's the best and most affordable on the market. So if you want some one-to-one coaching from yours truly, check the top link in the description and lock in your spot today. Thank you for listening, and I'll let us go back to the video with lesson number 4. Lesson number 4 is branding and aesthetics mean nothing. Controversial take, but my sound has been the thing that's carried me to virality. So far, I haven't invested in my aesthetic one bit. I still use the same blue jacket. It's literally the only jacket I have, and yet people still mess with my content because the music is good. And in my opinion, branding and aesthetics will only matter once the music matches it. If the visuals and aesthetics do not match the music, then people aren't going to like you. They're not going to trust you with their attention. So if I were you and I didn't feel like my music was good yet, when I played my music to other people and they thought it was trash, I would literally spend a few months developing my sound. You can come into my community, you can join someone else's community. Heck, you can even get someone to coach you for free. It could even just be a friend of yours who knows how to make better music. Like, I'd literally find someone who was better than me at anything, whether it was my friend, my parents, whoever, and then just get them to consistently give me feedback on my music while I'm making it day in and day out. I came across this really cool idea when I was making my mixing course. Like, I like to call it the pyramid model. So pyramids have layers going up to the top, right? And if the foundation isn't stable, you're going to get a leaning Tower of Pisa situation, or like worse, the whole structure will just collapse in on itself. So the foundation is the music. If the music isn't there, then your social media won't be there, your fan base won't be there, because everything and everyone will think your music is shit. But it's a bit more complicated than that, because this foundation has 4 main types of building blocks, right? There's live skill, lyrical skill, and production skill, with the production including beat making, mixing, and mastering. The moment I had these 3 locked in is the moment that I actually started to get a ton more fans. That's why you notice that my channel gets about 10 subscribers a day. It's because the music is good. If I did tutorials but my music was straight buns, then I wouldn't have nearly the amount of fans that I do now. So yeah, focus on the foundational skills first and then worry about branding, aesthetics, and promotion afterwards. And honestly, just post whenever you like. Don't really care about like a full roll-up plan if you're not big yet. That being said, let's get on to probably one of the most important lessons of this entire video, which is lesson 5. The more darts you throw, the more bullseyes you'll hit. Back when I was in year 12, I read this book by Connor Price's best friend, Nick D. It was called You Don't Want It Bad Enough. They're both sitting at around 5 to 10 monthly listeners right now. 5 to 10 million monthly listeners, sorry. And their methods are quite unconventional, but they work a lot better than the usual promotional strategies like, oh yeah, get into playlisting and stuff like that. So yeah, there was this one analogy that Nick used where he said the more darts you throw, the more bullseyes you'll hit. And that really puzzled me because I didn't know what he was talking about at the time. But after a bit of thinking, I started to get it a lot more. Like every time I made a song, every time I posted a video, every time I released something, it was like a dart being thrown onto a target. I was trying to get good music out. I was trying to get viral, and none of that would have happened if I had stopped shooting my shot towards this dartboard. So essentially, the more songs you post and the more content you post of it, the more likely you are to get a hit in the algorithm, because quality will come out of quantity if you're willing to put in the work. Didn't Kobe once say something like, or was it Jordan? I forgot, but it was like, it doesn't matter how much I win or lose, it matters how many shots I take. Like one of them said something like that. Heck, it might even be Curry that said that. I have no clue. I do not watch sports. But all I want to tell you is just keep going. Just keep training the muscle of making music and posting content, because one day it will all pay off.